Let's do some self-mock battles. Gumi needs to change up the outside event periods for the mock battles. They gotta be able to let us as players conduct mock battles as we freely choose to, right? Not having to wait outside the event period. It's kind of unfortunate that you can only do it during certain times of the day. So here we'll start with my defense. So this is the defense that I've been setting up for my guild wars, guild battles. I just copied the attack. I had a Glaciella build, but I changed it up. So this is my limited setup. I haven't been able to use that yet. I'm waiting for the limited guild battles. But we'll go ahead and drive on with this and see how it goes. We'll just do a mock battle with all of our Reddit guild members here. So I'm still fairly new to the guild also, and I think it's pretty fun testing out my team against my guild. My gear kind of sucks for right now, but it's okay. Everything is like +3, +1, and normal quality stuff. But it's getting there. None of my espers are maxed, and none of my VCs are maxed. But that's just work in progress. I'm one of those whales that don't know how to use my funds properly. But let's start with fighting myself. I don't know why it doesn't just sort me to the top. That would be pretty convenient. I would like to take a screenshot of this with the LDplayer, but every time I take a screenshot I cannot find where it saves the damn screenshot at. And there it is. We'll see what happens. I'll look for it later. Alright, so same team. Me versus myself. So far this is the most successful setup I've had in my guild battles. I just need to work on my gear and VC and espers. I've been using the token. I put 100% in leveling espers.
Alright then, take that! Here we go!
Well, joke's on me because I ended up not
Here
having a lot of resources to level my espers, so I just wasted all those tokens. What a waste, right?
Sorry, I was a little careless. Focus.
They gave you all those tokens, but they didn't give you additional resources.
All according to plan.
Oh, come on. I didn't even get it quick enough. So that... my defense still has... okay. I was going to say it still has Elshira, but obviously not. You know, that dodge is going to be the life of me. What is this, a dodge battle?
Pinpoint!
That's dangerous right there.
Pinpoint! My trigger finger just reacted on its own. I got bored.
I hope my defense is just as good when I'm setting it up. I know I'm lacking some agility. So the enemy attacking team with more agility is probably going to get a jump on my units. But I do have the maximum amount of man killer that I can get on Rosa, I think. Let's just start at the top here and make my way down. So I just want to clear the air and say I hate Venera and Orlando units. For some reason, they're so hard to hit. I don't have any accuracy builds, and I don't have an evasion build. I kind of missed out on some of those good vision cards. And I've also missed out on all of the Final Fantasy Tactics.
All right then, here we go.
It is to let us fight in earnest. I will do it.
All right then, here we go.
Well, I don't like how the other units, Fred,
focus.
was able to hit mine,
Sorry, I was a
and
little
I was
careless.
not able to hit any of theirs on the first move.
I've got you covered.
Which sets up Venera to kill
Dance to the death.
a whole lot of my team members, because she's always up
Focus,
close.
focus. Hit point.
And if you miss Venera
Oh, are
on the
you
first
okay?
or second shot, you're pretty much done for.
All according to plan.
See, like my Rosa wasn't able to
Take
hit
that.
them right there.
Did you think you could hit me? Time for a shootout.
And on top of that, she missed and got hit with a reflex or
All
counter.
according to plan.
The AIs for these range units are very questionable because, I mean, they're range units. Why would you not back up and shoot from range? They like to move in a whole lot closer than they should. And it gets pretty silly. Like Orlando has the same amount of range as my range units. Alright, two more units that I cannot stand is Warrior Light and Agrias. If you add Kilfei and Dingleberry, Engelbert into the picture, it's just a whole party of units that I absolutely hate. I think they're just overpowered, and you have to specifically build a team just to fight them.
All right then, here we go.
I think Agrias wouldn't be that bad if she didn't just get all them buffs. She's able to buff and heal, and then cause all those debuffs, and then
Sorry,
her speed
I was a
is
little
just
careless.
crazy too. She just got a little bit of everything. She's just perfect.
Pinpoint. Focus, focus. All according to plan.
Can't do no damage to Warrior Light. Good thing that King didn't have courage up. See that? How Agrias got all that range. It's so dumb. There is no way to win. See what I'm talking about? The AI, like, Rosa has no business getting closer than she needs to. How you miss Warrior Light? He's literally not even that fast. So that's why I hate these units. They're just so overpowered for no reason. So it's like saying that in order for me as a player to win some of these battles, I have to absolutely max out all my gear and all my equipment, my VCs and my Espers, just to have a chance at winning. That's ridiculous. So now you got Glaciella, which is a unit that has this ability called Leap Strike, and she is really fast. Then you got Warrior Light, who is almost impossible to kill when he has some buffs up, and then Venera, which has so much evasion. And it's crazy because this map is supposed to have a bonus to missile attacks. And I'm still not able to do the damage
All right then. Here we
required
go.
to beat a tank like that.
It is to let us fight in earnest. I will do it.
And then my Rosa
I'll do
has
away with
maximum
the
man-eater
forces.
plus
Let's
the
go.
platinum bow
Focus.
with
Focus.
plus 20 defensive piercing.
Pinpoint.
See how my Rosa moved up,
Dance to the
but
death.
didn't act or do anything, even though she has a long-range bow. That's just ridiculous.
Here's for the enemy. No way.
Pinpoint.
Like, you might as well just be throwing the arrow at the opponent, going that close.
All according to plan. Time for a shootout. Pinpoint. My trigger finger just reacted on its own. I got bored.
That disable RNG hooked it up. I don't think there's a specific unit that they can release that'll kind of even out or balance the game, because the game is definitely not balanced, like, at all. Like, it's either way too much evasion or way too much defense or way too much resistance. And they keep releasing new characters and new units, you know, just to make money, but they're not balancing
All right then. Take that. Here we go.
units. They're not balancing abilities. So it's kind of ridiculous that someone with a bow can only shoot an arrow
Focus. Focus.
about 8 squares away.
All
That's
according
just
to plan.
ridiculous. And some guy with a sword has the same range as someone with a bow.
Pinpoint.
Fired up.
Ah! Time for a shootout. Ah,
Waxed. Okay, so we're back after crashing. That's ridiculous. Just messed up my progress. Who are we on? So Blizz Blaze. I think all the Final Fantasy Tactics characters or units are just completely overpowered. This game crashes way too much. Even it's like the same thing with Lil Leela, Halloween Leela, Android or so iOS. They finally it still crashes second. And then for a game that's banner, almost out for right, but it was a trap. 1 year anniversary. They didn't give you any other way to get the too many problems. Get the shards. There's no shard quest. It doesn't work well on. You can only use the tokens to keep buying it. So it's
all right
well,
then.
not
Take
much
that.
of
Here
a
we
thought
go.
on it. You spend money.
Well,
Until to get it on the emulator.
Those
But
who
for
shall
everybody
away
else,
shall meet a
it's
swift
like,
end.
wow, that's just ridiculous. Considering they just released a vision card and the game is always crashing. Specifically
All
for
according to
Halloween
plan.
Leela,
Yeah.
that
will
made
do
her
it.
even
All
harder to
right
kill.
then.
All this money.
Here we go.
Improved her magic attack and her evasion.
Sorry, I was a little careless. Time for a shootout.
Annihilate the enemy.
I will miss Panera once, the game is over, or the match is over. Even when I'm playing on my iPhone,
Leave the rest to me.
especially when I'm doing
Let us fight in earnest.
when I'm building a party,
Were you
All
captivated?
according to
perhaps?
plan.
it always crashes and it doesn't save the party build. It's so
Sorry,
frustrating.
your help was much
I
needed.
literally didn't do anything.
I shall eliminate you.
Leave the rest to me. Trivial.
Pinpoint. Ah!
Now's my chance.
Got dominated. Oh, come on. The game froze. Be right back. We'll just continue after Blizz Blaze. Okay, another unit, Ayaka and Venera. Super Stern is crazy. He has a lot of evasion and a lot of range. Teams with Ayaka
Anyone who gets in my
always
way.
they always have a really good chance of winning.
All right then. Here we go. Hit point.
This is it for you.
I'm not sure I can be of much use.
That is
Do your best. I will
unnecessary.
do my best.
I hate Ayaka's limit break.
Sorry, I was a little careless.
It's just crazy.
This is it for you.
Yeah.
Instant death. Cannot beat Venera.
My power
bad.
overflows.
There you go. I gotta remove that
This.
ability.
That
do
is
your best.
unnecessary.
Cannot beat Ayaka.
Graceful.
That haste just is so crazy. From a white mage, that's not very Final Fantasy-esque, right? Like a haste from a red mage, I understand it's a lot more potent, but a haste from a white mage, it shouldn't be that potent. Alright, counting my losses. Here you go. Orlando. Medellina's Cosmo Plume limit break is actually the very first limit break I've ever seen in a game when I first started playing a couple months back. And it just it traps you because you think like, wow,
All right then. Take that. Here we go.
that's really good, and you try to build her,
So you really
and you're
intend to be
only able to
Are
get
you
her to
already
like
down with this very
3
blade?
limit breaks. But the game
Sorry,
tricks you
I
into
was a little
using all your
careless.
resources to try to build
All according
Medellina
to plan.
and Shadow Links, knowing dang well that they don't give you enough resources to
It's
finish
not
her.
over yet.
Focus. Focus.
Need a
Time
barrage.
for a shootout.
If that Medellina was able to walk across the middle of the map, she could have limit break and killed my entire team. So I have Elshra sub job as Rune Knight. What the idea was to try to have her generate some hate so that my other range units will be able to attack without getting hit, but that's not working. I can probably put Vow of Love on her, but I definitely don't want to lose out on the agility that I'm using for the Dark Helena card that I'm using, because I'm already behind on speed when, against all my opponents.
Yeah! I will do it.
Well,
And
well.
Panera already
So you
halfway
really
across
intend
the
to
map.
All right then. Here we go. Hit point.
Let us fight in earnest.
Focus.
All right,
Focus.
I need a. Oh, I needed to kill Venera.
Were you captivated, perhaps?
I believe she lived but missed.
Can you endure this?
How is this?
Oh my goodness. Venera is just wrecking my whole team.
Can you endure this?
Now is my chance! Were you captivated, perhaps?
Oh my goodness. How many times you gonna miss Venera? That evasion cancer. I like how they have this just complete evasion builds, but there's hardly any complete accuracy builds, because if you go for an accuracy build, you're lacking on a whole bunch of other things, which sets you up for like complete failure for every other team you come across. But an evasion build is pretty much universal against all the units, all those teams that you fight against.
All right then. Here the
Lending me
battle
a hand,
begins.
are you?
Are you okay? All right then. Take that. Here we go.
Darkness is my
Focus.
strength.
I need to give Elstra about 7 more agility.
You have
Sorry,
my gratitude.
I was a little careless. Focus. Focus. Ah! Time for a shootout.
Wow. Insta kill. Like my Rosa, she
My
like
apologies.
running up within the range and not doing anything.
I'm raring to go.
All according to plan.
Not bad.
The deepest darkness sharpens my blade.
Take that.
Nice.
Witness the Dark Blade's power.
Oh my. Remove, re-raise, and insta kill. That Dwayne. You guys been following the Dwayne drama on the JP side? You know, I like the way Square and Gumi pretty much bow down to the whole JP server, right? So we got all these JP guilds that are threatening to quit, and then Square and Gumi bow down to them. But for global players, they don't even think twice about sticking it to us. That's insane.
All right then. Here we go.
I don't understand how we have so much unhappy people
So
playing
this
this
is our
game.
foe?
The way
Sorry,
they're being
I was a
treated.
little careless. Time for a shootout.
Are you
You know,
alright?
like your business model should
The
be
battle begins.
modeled off of your customers, right? So, like, you're so concerned about locking content behind Visual and limited double cost units and vision cards. That's just ridiculous.
I've got you.
Like, I'm a whale and I just spent so much money getting all these characters and trying to max them out. And I don't even have enough, I don't even have the time to build gear and
I'm
equipment.
raring to go.
But there's no way for a free-to-play
Not
player or a normal player to try to compete or keep up. And then with the release of the EX 120 jobs, there's no way I'm gonna be able to spend even more than what I already do. I already spend like a few $100s every other day just for the hell of it, right? And I still can't compete in the game because I don't use the auto clicker and I don't auto farm all night. You know what I mean? I actually just play straight up. And when I try to put the auto clicker on, the game just crashes immediately. So this, you know, it's a mobile game. It's supposed to be you're supposed to be able to log on any time of the day and get in some quality game play time. But this game, you can't do that. It's a mobile game, but you have to play it full time in order to keep up. I mean, the events are like 6-7 days, and then within that time, you got to be able to resource
Here we go.
all the recipes you need to build certain equipment.
Stand in my
Leave
way.
the
They
rest
shall
to
be
me.
prodigies.
At the same time, you gotta
Well
farm
done. Your help
unit
is much
shards, and then you gotta
Sorry,
do an
I was a little
additional
careless.
book farming.
Annihilate the enemy. Let's go.
You just don't have time for all that, unless you just sit here and auto click it
Time
and
for
just
a
let the game
shootout.
farm itself.
Focus. Focus. All according to plan.
Come on, Rosa, you just run out there for no reason.
Pinpoint.
Bow and arrow is just so broken, unless you're a sniper class. Sniper class can get a lot more range in, but a regular bow unit it's just so stupid.
Hit point! My trigger finger just reacted on its own. I got bored.
I think they should focus a little more on balancing the game instead of continuously releasing new units. All right, stop trying to release new units that try to, you know, trap us into getting these units in order to counter certain metas. What you need to do is just balance the game as the game progresses. Because when you add more units and more gear to the game, all you're doing is letting these overpowered units just become more powerful.
All right then, Here we go. Sorry, I was a little careless.
This battle shall be
Do
ours.
not give up yet.
Allow me to help.
These
Thank
calculator jobs are one of the most OP jobs in the game. It's so crazy.
Time for a shootout.
And
Focus, focus.
And it's a big
All
difference
according
too.
to plan.
If you try to play a calculator sub job, it's completely different.
Sorry, I was
Not
a
as
little
good.
careless. Hit point! My trigger finger just reacted on its own. I got bored.
I'm completely against the EX120 releases. I think what they should be doing is come out for the global side anyways, because JP side is already too late. They're already balls deep in the EX120. I think what they should do for the global side, instead of releasing the EX120, this match is gonna suck. They should create a tier unit or a tiered method, right? So what the game got one character that's a normal quality or normal rarity, right? That's normal quality water Zazan. You should be able to fully max a unit and then have a
All
hard
right
quest
then, Here we go.
in order to raise
This
that
should be
unit's
interesting,
tier
right?
level from normal to regular. And then when you max it again, you should be able to
Focus, focus.
rare, I would say,
Time for a shootout.
which is not rare, but you should be able to tier up from
Sorry,
R
I was
to,
a little careless.
to the
According
next
to
tier,
plan.
so on and so forth, all the way up to ultra rare, right? UR. So from normal all the way up to UR. So if you, for example, if an MR unit, if you fully max the MR unit and do the hard quest for it, you should be able to bring that unit, upgrade it to a UR version of itself, right? Instead of releasing UR versions of units, you should be able to tier upwards
You ready for me?
units into
Got
UR.
one.
The only downside to it is that you just won't have that MR version anymore, right? But
This.
I don't know, maybe some people would agree that the UR versions of the would be better than the MR version. And then once you're able to do all the upgrades for every unit in the game to be able to tier up to UR, then you should release the EX120. And I think that's good progression because it'll take about a year. Alright, so year 2 of WOTV would just be tiering up all your units to UR. And in year 3, they can release the EX120. Year 3, they can release the EX120, and then, you know, everything would just kind of level out and balance out by then. Alright, but then you also gotta think about, you know, attracting new players. Like, how do you attract new players once the game is that deep and everybody's so advanced in the game already, right?
I'll kill anyone who
Like, they're not. It's not. it's not
All
beginner
right.
friendly.
Here we
Like
go.
new players that are joining the
My
game,
power overflows.
Focus,
starting from year
focus.
2, they should be able to immediately have a fully built unit, or have the capabilities
I was a
and
little
resources
careless.
to do it
Point.
if they wanted to.
Useless.
Right.
That is unnecessary.
And then it kind of sucks to say, well, I've been playing this game for 2 years, or I've been playing this game for a year now. Why should, these new players get what I took so long to build? Well,
Meet your end.
how do you expect to expand the player base, right? People are gonna quit the game. The game is getting difficult, really hard to beat.
Graceful.
Damn, I didn't even get a turn. The game is getting really hard to beat. Like even now, right? Like even now, the new free MR water unit, Crazy, I can't even win the very last challenge to get the last 25 shards I need to fully limit breaker, right? And then I have all these 99 units, and I still can't do it even when I play manually. And it sucks. I watch all these videos of people doing it, and I'm like, what the hell? I can't. And I try to go replicate it, and I just instantly get slaughtered. It's not even funny. I get so mad. And so like a new player, like how would they be able to stay engaged in the game, right? If you lose so many times or try so many times that you're just gonna quit. So the message is spend a lot of money in order to try to make it to a point where you can be successful in the game. But even if you spend a lot of money, and there are players who've been playing the game
All right
since
then.
release
Here we go.
that can't beat the challenge.
I'm not sure I can be of much use,
So
but I will do my best.
it's a deterrence to new players. So why would a new player stick around?
Sorry, I was a little careless.
Why would I want to stick around if I can't
Time
make
for a shootout.
progression in game? If there's not an opportunity for me to
Let's
catch up
press on.
to everybody else,
Focus, focus.
why would I stay
According
in
to
the game?
plan.
Because if that's the case, if you started playing the game a year late, then everybody that played the game a year earlier from you will always be a year ahead of you, and there will be no way to compete. I think that's
Time
pretty
for a
dumb.
shootout.
I'll assist you.
There's got to be a way to balance the game so that veteran players don't feel like they're being power crept, and then new players have an opportunity to feel like, hey, this is a game that I want to commit to. Because based off the stats of the game, right? Every gacha game, during the first 3 months of the game, you'll lose about 30% of its player base, like right off the bat, right? Because that's about when the game starts to plateau, when you start to run out of resources, when you start to realize that you have to spend a boatload of money, right? And that's when you start losing a whole lot of your players. That's ridiculous. This is what I'm talking about. Like, Rosa's a ranged character, but she won't stay at the range that she needs to fire off her arrows, right? But she wants to. Her AI moves her close enough so that units with swords can just hit her easily. Like, you might as well just be throwing the arrows. What's the bow for? That's the AI is just ridiculous. Like, you should be doing like common sense tactics, like just kiting the enemy and just slowly hitting him with arrows, damage over time, or just enough to waste all their AP and TP. Some more warrior light, so these two units are pretty low level, so I still have a chance. So you got these characters with certain buffs, right? It gives them a lot of defense for 3 turns, right? 3 turns is a
All
lot
right, then.
when it
Here we
comes
go.
to PvP. It's ridiculous. Even in
Not
PvE,
yet.
right? Like the current one,
Focus. Focus.
trying to beat a tank
I'll protect everyone. You
with 3 turns of buffs on, it's hard to do.
Time for a shootout. Sorry,
Right? And then you
I
got
was a little careless.
special units that do
According to
specific
plan.
things to remove buffs, right? But then you gotta have those characters and those abilities.
Time for a shootout.
There's a guy who I always watch all of his videos. It's on YouTube's TheUltimateChi. I think he is like one of the best PvP players in the game, and I like watching his videos. And every time I watch his videos, I'm like, man, how the hell do you pull that stuff off, right? And it's just crazy watching his units. And then I would have the same units and almost the same gear or same type of gear, and I wouldn't be able to pull it off. And all of his resources, he can, if he wanted to, he can just +5 anything, so easily. And I have to farm for like 2 weeks to try to, get the materials. And by the time I get the, get close, the event is like cycled out, and I
All
don't
right,
have
then.
enough
Here we go.
materials to +5.
How about I give
Leave
you
the rest
some
to me.
special attention?
I'm not sure
I
I can
usually
be
get
of
about
much use,
+3.
but I will do my best.
Sorry,
do your best.
help was much needed.
Sorry, I was a little careless.
Annihilate the enemy.
Good work.
Press on.
So they did a good thing this time, because in the shop you're able to buy a few pieces of items that are straight up
I won't
+5.
tolerate you going out
And
now.
and I think they should do that more often, because for players who
Leave
can't
the rest to me.
auto click
Focus,
for
focus.
24 hours or auto click while they're at work, they should be able to spend some visual and just buy some +5 stuff, right?
See if you can stop
And
this.
there's a limit to
All
what you
according
can
to
buy,
plan.
right? You can only buy one, which is pretty good. 1 +5 thing a week for some visual. Then you have to make a decision on whether you want to spend your visual on one of these stupid banners that have horrible drop rates. And I don't care what anybody says, I am convinced that these banners are all completely rigged, because they know the banners, they know to give you, right, in the guarantee slots, they know to give you units that you already have, right? And it's like, okay, well, that sucks, right? Or you can choose to spend your visual on buying the +5 gear. That would be great. I would choose the +5 over spending on a banner. Wow, this noob's power. This unit right here is complete cancer all the way around. Yeah, I think for a new player to get all that, to spend your visual, you gotta make a decision on what you want to do. Like, and I think buying that gear, especially for mobile players, right, that don't have their
I will
auto
do it.
clicker set on
Preparations are
for
complete.
24
All right,
hours,
then. Here we go.
are able to just buy that +5. No one got time to
Annihilate the
spend
enemy.
24 hours on their phone.
Sorry, I was a
right?
little
I
careless.
use my phone for work and personal things too, and I just can't
No,
leave the game on all day on my phone. Can't do it on these emulators either. It just keeps crashing. So I just
Leave
sit
the
here
rest to
and
me.
I manually play the game while I'm watching a movie
Begun.
or reading something.
Whoops.
Most time I'm just browsing YouTube, but I'm just playing the game at the same time.
According to plan.
But this game would usually crash like every 2 or 3 matches or battles.
Thank you.
Come on now, fall!
Oh my goodness.
Begun.
Yeah.
That Engelbert, man. Also, what I think Gumi should do is they should allow you to just straight up buy your characters or your units that you want. It's like, do they not make enough money as it is on these banners? You know what I mean? Like that they can't just create a straight up buyout. Kind of like what they did for Dwayne. That was pretty good. You can just straight up buy him for $47 at the time, right? And then you spent the rest of your time and money buying those expensive shards, farming those expensive shards. But I think that's the best way to do it. Just let these players buy it straight up, because it causes so much frustration. Like for example, when the re-release of the Halloween units, right? Hollow Leela and Hollow Ryu.
All right then, my turn.
I literally spent
Enemy
800
Engaging.
US dollars
Invoking
polling
my special technique.
on the Leela banner,
about
and
it?
I didn't get
Special
either
attention.
of them.
Sorry, I was a little
And
careless.
I didn't get Leela
All according to plan.
with
Invoking my
$800.
special technique.
Vanish.
That's just absolutely ridiculous,
Focus,
right?
focus.
And you can't. And then it's supposed to be a 25% guarantee, 25% chance in a guaranteed slot for a little Leela, and and I spent $800 polling on it, and I didn't get her. Yeah, so
Sorry,
I
I was a
immediately
little
sent
careless.
Gumi an email, and I told him straight up, I was like, look, you need to fix your rigged banner because I just spent $800. Go check it. I just spent $800 on that banner and I didn't pull her, right? According to that 25%, right? The fourth time I did it, I should have pulled her, right? But I didn't. It's so ridiculous. And then it took them about 30-40 minutes. They emailed me back with a response, and they're saying that it's completely random. It's based off the RNG or whatever, you know. And I replied back and I was like, that's crap. That's a complete lie, because if it's a 25% in a guarantee slot, that means if I did it 4 times, I would get that unit once, right? And I didn't, right? And I pulled on it. I did that 9 step up more than 4 times, right? And didn't get the unit. So I logged off the game, and then I replied to the email. And funny thing happened. I wouldn't call it funny, but they replied back and with an apology, right? I said this is killing me. I told them straight up, like, I've been playing this game for a few months, and each month I've spent over $2,500 a month just because I can, right? But I told them I'm not going to continue, you know, dumping all this money in the game if you're going to do this to me, right? Because it completely felt rigged. So they replied with an apology, and then I logged back into the game, and on my next poll on the 9 step up for Little Leela,
I'll do away with these enemy
it ended up being free
Let's
for
go.
me.
Shall be ours.
It was a
All
free
right,
poll,
Here we go.
a 10-step poll
Allow me to show
or a
you
10
why they
poll,
call me the Crimson
and then
Whirlwind.
I ended up getting Little
I'll
Leela
protect you. I owe you one.
Sorry,
Zombie
I was a little
Ryu.
careless. Take that.
and the new VC
Prepare
and the
yourself.
Esper all on that poll, and it was a free poll. So
I'm
they
not
did
dead
something
yet. Here we go.
to
Victory. I owe you one.
reimburse
Focus.
me for what I, you know, for all that. So that was cool that they did that. But you know, it was
Allow me
also a
to
trap
help. Here
because
we
there was
go.
no way to get additional shards to
Protect you.
maximal.
I owe you one.
So I was
Cover
able
the
to
enemy.
max out Little Leela from all that money that I spent using the tokens.
Have to move faster.
And the funny thing is that
Prepare yourself.
in order to max out Zombie Ryu
This
for his TMR,
a strategic
so
move.
today or actually this
for the
morning,
enemy.
I ended up spending like another $800
We'll end this.
buying the Zombie Ryu step up, the 9 step up, and using all the tokens to max out Zombie Ryu just for the TMR. So yeah, even as a whale or a super whale, it gets really expensive. But the whole moral to that is, I think Gumi is starting to listen to their customers, right? So I didn't expect them to reply to my email so fast, and then, you know, once they sent that apology and told me to log back in, I logged back in and did the poll. It was a free poll, even though it wasn't the 10th poll. Or yeah, it wasn't the 10th poll. It was the first poll. It was a free poll on a 10 shot, and I got everything that was offered this week.
All right
in
then,
that
here we go.
free 10 shot. So it's good to know that they're able to do
You
that,
ready for me?
you know, to
Alright,
compensate
alright, shall we
individual
begin?
players.
This should be interesting. Right.
But I did feel
Focus,
really
focus.
ripped off, and I was getting
Fired up.
really mad. I was thinking about, you know what? Let's find a different game to play,
All
right?
according to plan.
I
won't
started
let
looking
you
at
get
that
Sorry,
Near
I was a little
Automata
careless.
mobile game from Square Enix that they
Power
just came out
shootout.
with. I was thinking about just
Fired up.
maybe playing that one. I was thinking about going back and playing the Dragon Quest Tact. I stopped spending money on that because it's a complete ripoff, absolute ripoff. So I'm just free to play on that now. But I only log on like twice a day. Eventually I'll probably end up quitting. But Gumi's starting to listen. But I told him straight up, like, once EX 120 comes out, I'm gonna quit. I'm probably going to quit because if I'm not able to do what I want now, there's no way that I'm able to keep up when 120 comes out. And we're probably gonna see a drop off in the player community when the 120 hits, and all these guilds are gonna be hurting for new members. Oh wow, I'm gonna lose this match so bad. There's just no way to compete with the other Krakens that's been playing for over a year now. You know, I've been Royal Rank 12 since like
I'm
my
not sure
first
I'll
or
be as
second
much
month
use
playing the
to it.
game.
I will do my best.
And there's really no benefit to the
so
Royal
you really
Rank.
intend to fight?
Royal Rank
I'll
12.
assist you.
I will lend you my aid.
Sorry, I was a little careless.
And the packets that you can
All according
buy
to plan.
is completely a
Please do
ripoff.
your
Not
best.
bad.
Yo, it's so crazy. Yo, there's really no good benefit. If you're gonna do Royal Rank, I think you should spend just enough to be able to unlock the ×2 speed
Take this.
for auto battles.
You'll have to fight
Other than
an
that,
enemy.
I wouldn't go any further than that. Maybe if you wanted to have a third
Hey now, what happened?
chocobo
Can you
expedition,
endure this?
but if you look at all the chocobo expeditions now, it doesn't make or break you. It doesn't give you enough resources to max out units within a month or 2 months. Like, you can do these chocobo expeditions. Mine is like 180 items per chocobo expedition, right? And in a period of 3 months, I won't even be able to pull enough resources to max out one DC or Esper, right? Over, yeah, you won't even be able to max out one DC or Esper for a period of 3 months, and I have 3 parties running at the same time. So it's not really that beneficial. I would say sticking to, you know, just enough Royal Rank to get the ×2 speed is good enough. I don't know if Gumi's planning to add more options or more
All right
bonuses
then,
for
my
these
here we go.
Royal Ranks.
All right then, take that. Here we
But-
go.
Royal Rank 12 is literally just bragging rights. Just to show people that
Sorry, I was a little careless.
you're dumb enough to
Focus.
spend all this money like I did.
Pinpoint.
But
Pinpoint.
I'm just fortunate to, you know,
Time for a shootout.
be able to have a lot of money that I can dump on this for no reason, and I enjoy doing it. But there hasn't been a game that has had my attention for over a year, right? Because eventually you just plateau and you plateau off and run into a wall where you can't get enough resources to do anything. Yeah, Rosa RNG. Ooh, wow. I didn't even realize I was fighting my own defensive team. Elshira, like I love Elshira as an MR unit, but I think they can tweak her rune knight job a little bit. I think they should so she can generate just a little more hate or some hate because she doesn't generate any. And her AI, she likes to just walk out into the middle. Was that Kadia? I think I just pulled enough shards to max her today, or fully limit break her today.
All right then, take that. Here we go.
I don't know what the state of this game is going to be.
I will lend you my aid. Intend to
but
fight.
Sorry, I was a little careless.
I think they need to make it a little more exciting. They need to have more collabs other than.
Seems I'll have to fight in earnest.
You know, Brave Exvius collabs. You know, you got this entire Final Fantasy franchise that you can use,
all
right?
according to plan.
And they're just not
Seems I'll have to
using
fight
it
in
well.
earnest. Not bad.
Man, I might lose.
Time for a
I wasn't
shootout.
able to. Okay, there you go.
Sorry, I was a little careless. Pinpoint! My trigger finger just reacted on its own.
If I missed
got bored.
that Medellina, because she probably has a ninja sub, high evasion. If I would have missed, she would have came up and Cosmo plumed my entire party. Yeah, so there's so many Square Enix titles, right, that they can use as a collab. You know, not just Final Fantasy, right? You can. So if you look at some of the Square Enix anime, right? You know, like Full Metal Alchemist. Now that's a Square Enix title, right? Goblin Slayer. That's a Square Enix title. Man, I would love for a Goblin Slayer unit in this game. Wouldn't that just be so crazy? I'm definitely gonna lose this match. 3 tanks and 2 annoying tanks. Like Agrius got long range, hard to kill, Faye, stupid tank, really hard to kill, right? Like I don't understand how a mage can just take so much punishment. And then you got Zombie Ryu, who got so much range, right, that you think that he's throwing his sword. Yeah, so I think the collabs in this game can definitely do a whole lot better, right? Instead of doing, you know, 3 units from one whole game, they should just do one unit
Here we
per
go.
month or something like that, and just
This is going here.
continuously release newer units for collabs.
Focus.
Just 3 units per collab
that.
is a lot. Even 2 units is a lot. They don't even provide the resources, right? If you look, there's no way to farm Awakening Prisms and Fragments of Thought. You have to wait for events and do it that way. But then most of the time for events, you're using that stuff to buy the recipes that you need. Right, so not many people are strong enough or play enough to have all that extra income or currency, right, to exchange for these resources. I know I don't. Like all these events, you know, they're only out for like a week. You know, I don't see how people are getting enough resources to build 5+5s, and that's just crazy. And I get a lot of people are, you know, auto clicking and stuff like that. I don't particularly have anything against it. I think it makes the game really unfair, right? Because you're not really playing the game. I'm definitely losing this one too. You're not really playing the game. You're just letting the game play itself and collecting the resources, right? So I mean, I'm sure there's something in the terms of service about that, right? But I mean, Square Enix and Gumi, they can't enforce that because they're already losing enough of their player base. Like, how do you enforce that?
Take that. Here we go.
Like, the only way you can really even the playing field is if Gumi,
Not sure I can be of much use.
Square
I will
Enix
do my best.
put
Sorry, I was a little careless.
during the multi-farms, multi-quest, you have to create an auto-ready button, right? And so that it automatically sets you as auto-ready
Focus. Focus.
instead of having to resort to emulating, auto-clicking. So that way, everybody has the same fair chance, right, to auto-click. Maybe have a penalty for auto-ready. Like it'll cost you 1 energy or something like that, even though it's supposed to be free for multi battles. Maybe 1 energy. That's fair. You know? You have like 999 tries. Man, that was unfair. Warrior Light getting another crystal. Oh my goodness. Already healing himself. And then closing the gap. That Warrior Light cancer right there. Even at level 79, he's a cancer. My Rosa has max man eater, and I got the platinum bow with plus 20 defensive piercing. Still couldn't kill him. A level 79 Warrior Light. That speaks volumes on the balance of this game. Then Ayaka. There's really no other healer in the game that's as broken as Ayaka. Her TMR, if you put her TMR on Warrior Light or Engelbert, right, it like breaks the game, because you just that AoE full heal off her TMR on a tank that's already really hard to kill.
I'm not sure I can be of much use.
Take that.
Here we go. Do my best.
Well, well. So you really intend to fight?
Please do your best.
I will lend you my aid.
Oh wait.
Focus. Focus.
Did I accidentally fight this one a second time?
Time for a shootout.
I didn't even do that. Still can't
I'll
win.
assist you.
Still can't win.
Seems I'll have to fight in earnest.
Wow.
Please do your
Not
best.
bad.
This is...
I think they ended up stronger than how I left them.
I'll assist you.
I cannot do damage to Agrius. It's so ridiculous. Why is my time mage walking straight up there?
Please do your best.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
assist you.
Agrius got so much agility and evasion. It's so crazy. She's like all around tank for everything.
Please do
So
your best.
now Rosa's kiting the way she should. Oh, she's dead.
I'll assist you.
Oh, that's good. She doesn't move far enough away to avoid getting hit by Sora.
Let's press on.
Oh my goodness.
Hiya.
The AI is so dumb. Agrius didn't even have any AP and that still couldn't win. Should be coming down near the end now. Another man-eating Rosa.
All right then, my turn. Here we go.
Well,
I will lend you
my
my
So
aid.
you really intend to fight?
Hear me growl!
I don't like how my time mage Elshira is moving up forward and not moving behind the units. And then she
Sorry,
moves
I was
right
a little careless.
into range.
Time for a shootout. Focus, focus. Pew! My trigger finger just reacted on its own. I got bored.
Alright, what do we got left here? Oh look, my final reward is just 1. This is an interesting one. Okay, they're all low level, so I have a good chance. I wonder how much Gumi and Square Enix actually listens to the global community. Right, because it's proven that they spend a lot of time listening to the JP community.
All right then, take that. Here we go. Focus, focus. This battle shall be ours.
I'll have to fight in earnest. Oh well.
How
So
about
you
I
really
give
invest
I won't
some
tolerate you going
special
out now.
attention.
I
will
will
lend you
not
my
lose.
aid.
Like, we all know that the JP side is a little more important to them because
Good
Allow
work.
me to
that's
help.
where the game is.
Sorry, I was a little
made.
careless.
I just don't think like the global community
Time for a
has a
shootout. My trigger finger just reacted on its own.
equal
I got bored.
representation. Right? We don't got the voice. You know, the whole gacha thing. That's like a Japanese. It's like Japanese culture in their mobile gaming. You know, so that's normal for them. That's okay. They understand it, and you know, they accept it the way it is. But for global players, you know, the whole gacha thing, it kind of, you know, it's easy to disagree with. You know, like think like, wow, how much more money do you want, right? It's like, how much is enough to compensate players for their you know, their time, right? Because that's something that you know, they're not making, is time. Because you're investing your time, you know, to make money in order to invest in this game, or you're investing in this game
All right then, here we
by
go.
playing it. And then for your time,
Sorry,
you want to be
I
able
was a
to
little
feel
careless.
that your time
All
is
according
worth
to
it,
plan.
I'll
right?
protect Not everyone. yet.
And then it's easy to be part of
Focus, focus.
the toxic online
Time for a
community.
shootout.
They'll always
My
tell
trigger
you,
finger just reacted
well,
on its own.
just
I
get
got bored.
good, or you know, don't suck at the game, or whatever. You know, that's normal toxic online stuff. But I just feel that if you're gonna invest time in something, you should feel rewarded for your time. You should feel like, hey, I can't wait to come back and contribute more time to this game. You know what I mean? let's try this one more time. Stop. Because I know the game crashed earlier and we missed out on that. Let's see if RNG changes it up.
All right then. Here we go.
It is to begin. I will do it.
All right then. Here we go. Focus. Focus.
It's just strange that
Sorry, I was a little
moving
careless.
first, you'll get hit from the enemy.
Are you okay?
Frederica.
I shall eliminate you.
Focus. Focus.
Do not have enough mana to kill Venera with one shot.
I've got you covered. All according to plan.
Come on, Rosa. Holy cow.
Pinpoint.
Wow. Saved by the relays. So I think the first time I matched up with this fight, I lost because Rosa missed Orlando. I think that's it really. Fairly new to the guild, to this guild anyways. Having fun. Oh, we got 30 members now. That's nice. That's great. And I'm having a little bit of fun playing the mock battles instead of everything else. Yeah, that's pretty fun. It's I feel like it's worth my time, but I think we can, do other things that's better in the game. But I feel like I've run into a point where I can't complete or be successful in certain PvE portions of the game, right? I think the game is just progressively getting harder without giving you the additional resources and equipment that you need and the units that you need to tactically be successful in some of these raids or some of these missions. But that's pretty much it. I'll be back again. I can only do this like once a week because of my work schedule. Alright, I can only do this on Sundays. I want to do more. My account is not that good. Not good enough to do more, but eventually, I will.